Good afternoon, I'm Belinda De Lasheras with Hunter News. Williamtown Airport is now ready to begin hosting F-35 Joint Strike Fighters when the aircraft arrive at the RAF base in 2018 following the release of a lucrative defence contract. BAE Systems have been awarded the contract for the airport, which currently supports the entire Hawk Mk127 fighter fleet. $1 billion will also be allocated for infrastructure at Williamtown Airport, including a runway extension and maintenance facilities. BAE Systems Aerospace Director Steve Drewy says the new program will utilise a wealth of Australian business experience.
We do our best to actually work collaboratively with all of the Australian industry to produce the best results for the Australian government. So it's going to be like a team approach of quite a few industries.
The National Rural Health Alliance has today announced an action plan to combat mental health issues across the Hunter. Fewer GPs and mental health professionals have been blamed for a high rate of suicide in the region's rural hotspots. Chief Executive of the National Rural Health Alliance, Gordon Gregory, says there's a number of support avenues for people living in remote areas.
If people would like to see information about the rural and remote aspects of mental health, they can go to our website, which is www.ruralhealth.org.au, and there they will find not only a fact sheet about some of the things we're discussing, but also an information sheet providing contacts for online and telephone support services for people with a mental illness.
Maitland is about to get even greener today as the state government announces funding for new garden waste bins in the area. Environment Minister Rob Stokes and local MP Robin Parker are in town to lift the lid on a $1.2 million cash injection for 28,000 bins under the government's Waste Less, Recycle More initiative. Liberal candidate for Maitland Steve Thompson says residents will be able to dispose a range of items.
28,000 households are going to get one of these new green bins that they can put their grass clippings, dead leaves, any garden waste in. It'll be picked up fortnightly. It allows people an opportunity to recycle this green waste instead of just throwing it on the garden or leaving it lying around the yard.
Maitland Council have given the tick of approval for the construction of a phone tower on Taylor Avenue in Thornton. Councillors unanimously supported the installation, despite receiving one submission calling for it to be shelved due to radiation fears. It's hoped the tower will improve mobile phone reception in the area. Plans for a cultural centre in Port Stephens have been given the go-ahead following last night's council meeting. A site around the Raymond Terrace Library has been identified as the most likely destination for the centre, overlooking the river past King Street. Work is set to be completed over the next 3 years, with hopes the facility will rival art centres across the Hunter. Deputy Port Stephens Mayor Steve Tucker says the area has been lacking when it comes to cultural facilities.
There is nowhere you could put a play on in Port Stephens unless you put it on in a licensed club. Similarly, there is no art gallery as such.
Updating sport, Newcastle Knights prop Sam Mataora has been given a second tilt at the NRL after being named in Saturday's trial against Wauchope and Port Macquarie. The 24-year-old insists he'll use the chance to fight for a place in next week's pre-season teaser against the Raiders in Queanbeyan. Mataora was forced to play out last season in the New South Wales Cup side after being released by the Raiders mid-year. Jake Mamo and Chanel Matautia will start on the wing, while brother Pat and Samoan international Joey Leilua have also been named. Anthony Burke-Gilroy is set to make his debut for Newcastle this afternoon when the Jets youth face Sydney FC in a catch-up match at Magic Park. The teams had been booked to clash in a round 2 fixture at Western last month before the game was washed out. Newcastle's Braden Crowley and Tom Waller are also expected to play. Kickoff gets underway at 4 p.m. And Central Coast surfer Russell Maloney has begun the fight to defend his Surffest crown as the action heats up in today's Indigenous Classic at Merewether. 2NURFM News Time is 12:10.